What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the High Performance Trader. Today, I want to break down areas of value, right? So, until we can understand what exactly we're looking for, we're going to be behind the curve constantly, right? I remember when I first started trading, I was so in tune with predicting the lows, predicting the highs, and trying to predict the market, right? So, once you go through that stage, you get to take a step back and go, okay, maybe it's not about predicting. How could I learn to react to price action, right? We hear influencers say that all the time, and it's the truth. Until we can learn to react to the current market information, we're not going to be taking setups. We're not going to be getting the results that we truly wish to get, right? So it's my goal to help you guys understand what areas of value are today. If you like this content, make sure you hit a like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. But more importantly, if you want to get involved with the High Performance Trader Army, check out Trader Bootcamp, right? It's a full online mini course, over 18 different mini courses breaking down all these concepts, precepts, principles, strategies, and topics like market psychology, right? So today we're going to focus on areas of value, right? So what are areas of value? Now, let me get you a little context before I dive deep into this, right? So when I first created this course, right, I was very deep into supply and demand, right? So you guys hear a lot of influencers talking about supply and demand. Supply and demand is a great way to understand the market auction, right? So once again, when we first start trading, our perception's way off, right? We're trying to predict the market. We're trying to, use the RSI, all those indicators, and we're trying to find a quick, easy way to make money. And then you start to go through the process of losing money and getting frustrated, right? And then you start to go, okay, maybe there's something new or something I'm missing, right? If you're anything like me, you want the knowledge, right? You want to understand what it is that's actually going on. And then you start to dive into supply and demand, right? A supply and demand is basically an outline of the market auction, right? It's learning to spot heavy areas of supply and heavy areas of demand. And the concept behind that is where there's more supply than demand, there's going to be more selling. And then when there's more demand than supply, there's going to be more buying, right? So I took it one step further than that, right? Because, yeah, we can identify supply and demand, but then I took it to the pin numbers, right? And then I started to check out areas like end of day, right, which is the previous close, then the previous highs, the previous lows, then the open, right? And all these areas, right, have one thing in common: volume. See, volume is the main way to understand what large money's doing. Let's bring it back, right? Us as retail traders, we can't move the market, right? We must come to the conclusion that we cannot move price. So for us to make consistent money, we have to understand and identify what large money's doing. They move price. It's a battle against bank versus bank, right? It's a battle against Warren Buffett versus somebody else with tons of capital, right? It's the big fish. It's the sharks that are playing this game. We're just trying to capitalize off their moves, right? So once you start to understand that, you can now understand your presence in the market, right? It's very important to break that down, right? It's up to us not to move the market, not to predict the market. It's up to us to understand what the market's doing and then make higher probability moves based off that. And the main way to do that is by identifying areas of value, right? So, what are areas of value? Areas we look for high volume price movement based on previous price patterns that present us opportunity to make profitable trades, giving us a higher probability of success, right? Notice those triple P, right? Previous price patterns, right? So let's bring it back. If we can't move the market, the banks do. How do we understand if they're bullish or bearish? Chart patterns, candlestick analysis, moving averages, right? It's up to us to identify these patterns at these heavy populated areas to put on higher probability moves. So that's the concept. It's chart pattern in a zone, right? That's step 3 in my process development, is identify the chart pattern at the zone. I'm sure a lot of you guys have realized you can trade these chart patterns, but if they're not at critical levels or areas with high volume, you're not going to get the continuation or reversal you're looking for, right? So area of value, right? This is where large money puts on their move. Why? So if you're a bank if you're somebody with a lot of capital or you want to make a large move, right? Say you want to buy a million shares at a specific price. Well, this is the thing. You can't just put on that big of an order without disturbing the price of the market. You will literally manipulate price with that large of an order. So, how does large money get in and out of the market? They must drive price to a heavy populated area, right? Every single transaction in this market has an opposing force, right? So think about you want to buy a car, right? So to be able to buy that car, you need somebody to sell you that car, right? So it's the same exact thing with the market. For me to go long in the market, I need somebody to go short in the market, right? So if I just want to buy a million shares at a specific price, right, I need a million people shorting the market. Now, the only way to do that is to identify the area with large amounts of volume. This is where you get your pit numbers, your end of day, right? At the end of the day, let me show you real quick. Every single day, right? Every single day. Notice here, let me turn my volume on real quick. Look at the volume that goes into that last 5-minute candle. It's literally almost 20x what it is throughout the day, right? So there's 20 times more market or limit orders going into the market at the end of the day every single day. So this is an area we want to watch. Now notice I have end of day marked out, right here. Now watch how price reacts to that area of value. This blue line right here. It sells off into it, boom, buyers show up. It's crazy, right? It's clockwork. So this is the thing. We must learn and look at how the volume spiked right there when it came into end of day, right? Boom, boom. So this is the thing. The way that works is there's massive amounts of liquidity here, right? So when sellers are taking price in the end of day, right? Sellers are very strong in this scenario, right? Look at, we're getting this massive sell-off down to end of day, right? Rips into it and then gets met with buying. So think about that. You have a large force, right? That's moving price down, whether it's panic, doesn't matter what it is. It's moving price down, right? Once this force gets met with the opposing force, which is buyers, you get the pop. Now, once you get the pop, you go, okay, we got some buyers at end of day, but I'm not exactly convinced that there's enough to move price in the opposite direction, right? How do we know that? How can we judge the opposing force, right? How can we learn to understand, okay, well, buyers are taking control of end of day. How do we know, right? And this is where your moving averages are going to come in your market structure, right? So we also have previous day high, the blue line right above it. Look, I mean, right here, open print. Look at the volume that gets hit with these levels. This is large money literally making their move, right? So you get large money, price coming in, rips up, comes up to all-time high, rejects, once again, look at the volume, rips all the way down to end of day. So now you go, okay, let's see what the candle tells us on the retest of previous day high and the EMA cloud. See, I'm such an advocate for moving averages for one reason. They help me realize who's in control of the market, right? They help me understand strength. They help me understand weakness. They help me understand order. They help me understand chaos, right? And I, right, need to understand what it is I need to see to put on the trade. And this is what I use to do that. Price will come in the end of day. Price will rip back up into previous day high, right? And then we get a large red candle. At this point, I'm going, okay, I'm willing to short the market because the next critical level, right, next area of value, the highly populated area, is down at previous day low, right? That's how I view the market. Market imbalance to market imbalance. Critical level to critical level, right? And when you start to view the market in that fashion, you're going to have way more understanding of price action. It's going to be way easier for you to hold trades. It's going to be way easier for you to put on trades, right? Because you're going to have an underlying story behind the reason why you're getting in and out of the market, right? So look at price rips right up into previous day high, gets met with selling, right? Now, at this point, all what I know is that we rejected all-time high, we rejected previous day high, we retested previous day high, rejected, right? So now the market has shifted, right? It was very bullish. Now we know it's bearish because the buyers couldn't hold the level, right? Notice price comes right back up. We cannot get above this candle, right? Meaning we can't make a higher high, right? So when I shorted this, my stop would be above this candle. Can't beat it, can't beat it. Sellers come in and rip price all the way down to our next heavy populated area. And then look at the volume that comes in at that level, right? So learning to understand the areas of value, learning to understand the chart patterns, learning to understand what that represents, and then learning to make moves based on them is going to give you a massive edge. I hope you guys like this content. Make sure you give me some feedback, right? If you want more stuff like this, leave a comment below. Tell me your thoughts, right? And if you want a more in-depth breakdown of this, check out Trader Bootcamp. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.